Hi everyone, it's Wednesday. It's time for another edition of News 2 Gives Back, and I'm News 2 meteorologist Marcus Bagwell. News 2 Gives Back is brought to you by Nashville Subaru. Today we are wanting to highlight the Rutherford County EMS. They do great work here in a very growing county, and we're specifically wanting to highlight them along with some other departments as we head into the new year, specifically because of the Vergne police incident that happened back in October. On that day back in October, 2 Vergne police officers were injured in a shooting that took place there in the city, and Rutherford County EMS were one of the first responders that made it to the scene and to help those police officers that were injured during that particular time. So to talk more about the Rutherford County EMS, we want to bring in the Chief, Brian Gaither. Brian, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate the work that you do here in the county. As now being a resident inside of Murfreesboro and Rutherford County, we see you all the time. You're doing great work, and we just want to say thank you. Tell us about y'all's role in that particular incident from back in October.
Yeah, so those type calls are obviously difficult when it involves our public safety brothers and police officers. You know, very, very dangerous job. And then when something like that happens, I mean, it's, you know, we deal with shootings and that kind of stuff on a regular basis, but when it's police officers, you know, it kind of changes their role, their thoughts a little bit. We had 2 units that responded that day. Both units did fantastic work. You know, and then you worry more about the follow up with them, you know, after, you know, the debriefs and just kind of working through those type situations with those calls.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have a couple of follow questions to what you were saying. First of all, just for your crews, you all see a lot of different things, whether it's involving the everyday person. Sometimes it is your fellow brother, whether it's on the police or the fire side or another agency. How do you all handle those type of incidents, especially when it's with the people on the other side that are also doing the same thing, public safety?
So we will plan to do some kind of debriefing, whether we do it internally or do it as a group with, in this case, the Vergne Police Department. I know they did have a debriefing for the whole police department that some of our guys were involved in, but we'll also reach out after the fact. We have some internal people here that are trained in doing that debriefing type situation, and you know, we just reached out to them and see if they needed any kind of follow-up to this call.
Sure. And when y'all go to different incidents, when it's just the general public that you have to tend to and whatnot, you all probably see a little bit of everything that takes place. There's probably not a week that goes by that is something that could be very traumatic. How do your men and women on your department handle all of that with time?
Yeah, everybody handles it in their own way and a little different. In the past with our industry, you know, mental health has kind of been looked at a little differently, and that's one thing since I've been here that I want to try to bring to the forefront and make sure we're addressing. So either myself or a shift commander or a shift captain will reach out to those crews following certain events and just kind of check up on them and see if there's anything we can do to assist them to deal with the situation.
That's great. Talk about your relationship with the agencies around. So you all cover the entire county. So you're working with multiple agencies, not just with Murfreesboro, the county seat, but also Vergne, as we were talking about, but also Smyrna and even some other areas, Eagleville too.
Correct. Yeah. So we provide ambulance coverage for the whole county, and then we work with 5 different police departments, different fire departments, and all the fire departments in the area are now first responders. So, you know, we work with them daily, and you know, it's just a team approach across the county, whether we're working with Murfreesboro, Smyrna, Vergne, Eagleville.
So Chief, Rutherford County is growing a lot here. What are some of the steps that you all are doing to make sure that you're ready when people call 911 here in the county?
Yeah, so like you said, Rutherford County is growing really fast, one of the fastest growing counties in the state. We are adding stations to try to keep up with the ambulance call volume demand. In the past 6 months, we've put a new station in Rockville, a new station in the Kittrell area, And by June or July, we should have a new station in Las Casas and also a new station in Walter Hill to try to keep up with those demands. Call volume obviously increases as the population increases. We're doing about 3,500 calls per month. We staff 16 ALS ambulances every day, and they stay very busy.
Wow, that's great. That's a lot of calls that you all take on each and every month. Tell us more about people that want to maybe pursue being an EMT or a paramedic. What are those steps like to be able to do that and to join your department?
Yeah, so most of the education is done at the community college level. Here in Rutherford County, MTSU has an EMT program it's been in place for many years. It's a continuing education program, and also the TCAT system has just recently began teaching EMT classes here in Murfreesboro. So there's all kinds of ways to get into it. Tennessee Promise is also helping. A lot of people are coming out of high school and then going straight into this field with that type funding.
Wow, that is great. So there's many different opportunities to be involved in that. Lastly, with this area growing and whatnot and more people moving here, what are some things that you want people to know when they place a phone call into 911 and they're in need of your services? What do people need to know in preparation for your arrival?
Yeah, so our 911 dispatchers do a fantastic job. They answer the call, whether it's in Murfreesboro or Smyrna, Laverne, or it goes to our dispatch, which is just medical dispatch. But they're very well trained. They will ask you to confirm your address, and they'll start asking you some medical, the age of the patient and medical type questions. And they're kind of our eyes and ears before we arrive, and they relay all that information to our crews prior to arrival.
That's great. That's great. So make sure you have that information. That information is always pertinent for them. Chief, congratulations. Thank you all so much for your service, and we appreciate the work you all do here in Rutherford County. It's a big area. Over 300,000 people live here, but you all do great work each and every day. So thank you so much. And we're very excited to provide them lunch today. This is all brought to them by Nashville Subaru, and we're excited to be able to present this to them. We'll continue our conversation with other agencies that were involved in helping to assist the Laverne police officers that were injured back in October. We'll do that as we head into the new year. I'm News 2 meteorologist Marcus Bagwell. Thank you for taking time to watch this edition of News 2 Gives Back.